So today we'll be showing you guys how to replace the rear swing arm on your Apollo Go. So for this repair, you'll be needing 2 vice grips, a rubber mallet, a punch, 2 6mm Allen keys, a 4mm Allen key, a 3mm Allen key, a 2.5mm Allen key, and you should be good to go. So the first thing we're going to do is remove the brake line from the drum brake. First remove the adjustment screw, then pull the line from the lever, remove the holder piece and the spring, and then you can just put the brake line like this. So that we don't lose any of our hardware, we'll put back our spring, our holder piece, and our adjustment screw back on the brake line. Next, we'll remove our rubber caps that hide the screw for the motor. Next, we'll remove the screw that holds the drum brake in place. Put the screw to the side. But we will not remove the screws all the way. So now that we got them loosened but not removed, we're gonna go ahead and remove the fender from the swing arms. And next we'll remove the 4 screws that are holding the rest of the bracket in place. All right, and just like that, the fender comes off, and we'll put it to the side for now. Next, we'll disconnect our motor cable. All right, so we'll just unscrew the connector, and once we've got it all the way unscrewed, the little orange seal will become exposed, and next we can just slide the motor off of the swing arms, and the motor will come disconnected. And now we will completely remove the screw and lock washer holding our motor. And now the motor should just slide off. Okay, and just like that, the motor comes off. Next, we will loosen the rubber suspension block. At this point, it'll be easier for you to flip the scooter as you'll have an easier time accessing all these screws. Now, we're gonna use a 6mm Allen key to loosen our suspension. Okay. And now we'll loosen the 5 screws that are holding this plate. Now we just remove our plates just like that, exposing the rest of our wire. Next, we can go ahead and remove these rubber caps on the side that hide our swing arm shaft. There's one on each side. And we'll just put these rubber pieces to the side. So for this next part, you're going to need 2 6mm Allen keys. We recommend applying some heat to this area as there is pre-applied Loctite and it could be very difficult to get it loose. So that's one side out. Next, we will need to punch the shaft out. Now, if you don't have a regular punch, you could just use an Allen key. So now we just pull the shaft out, remove our punch, and now just like that, the rear swing arm is now off of the scooter. And as you can now see, your suspension is exposed. So we'll take this off, just like this. So next, we'll go through the process of putting back everything together. For the purpose of this video, we will be reusing the same parts. So first, we'll put back our suspension, making sure to line up the holes. Next, of course, we grab our rear swing arm and we'll run the motor cable through just like this. Make sure also to line up the suspension holes. Once you have the swing arm and the suspension like this, I recommend putting your punch like this so that it holds everything in place. Next, you're going to need to grab a vice grip. So in order to be able to get everything aligned and in order to be able to get the shaft itself back in, you are going to need 2 vice grips. The first one is going to sit on the rear swing arms in this location, sitting underneath the footrest. Then you'll need a second vice grip, putting pressure more directly where the rubber block is. And this will allow for the swing arm to line up. So now we'll remove our punch and Allen key. We'll put our shaft in. We have noticed that it matters which side you first put the shaft in. So make sure you are installing the shaft on the kickstand side. We'll punch it in all the way. And before we remove our vice grips, we will put back the screw that holds it. When reinstalling this bolt, we recommend okay, all right. And next, we will tighten back down the suspension. All right, and now we should be able to remove. So the next part is going to be putting back the plastic cover for the cable. Okay, and now the plastic cover is reinstalled. Make sure all of our screws are tightened down. So we'll put back this rubber cap. And next, we'll go ahead and flip our scooter over again. So now we'll start the process of reinstalling our motor. When reinstalling the motor, it's important to have this hole lined up with this hole, as this is what keeps the drum brake in place. Before we do anything else, we will put back the screw that holds it in place, like so. Now we're putting back the screw that holds the motors in place. That's one side. We'll do the other side as well. And next, we'll put back the rubber caps that cover the screws for the motor nuts. Next, we'll reconnect the motor cable. And next, we'll put back the fender. Now we'll put the final 4 screws that holds the bracket. Those screws back installed, we can start putting back our brake line. Remove all of the hardware. And first, we'll just put the line through into its placeholder, just like that. We'll make sure the wire is pulled out as much as we can. First, we put back our spring, and then we'll put back the holder piece. And then we can just go ahead and put back our adjustment screw. And we'll make sure to tighten up our brake as much as we want it. Make sure not to over tighten it, as it'll produce a bit of a noise. And that is pretty much how you replace the rear swing arm on your Apollo Go.